Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your day and join us in some boy band conversation. As always, my name's Diane.
I'm Chinzia.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia, aka Mama Lou.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yay. We're back.
I'm usually on the Yeti, and I'm just there.
We're back. All right.
Oh, right. You're
I
right.
know, like my camera
Right.
is backwards. I'm at my house and I'm like so confused. I was like, that's not. Anyways,
She was even like touching her head. I was like,
"Why
are
is
you
my
all right?
band in the
Yeah,
wrong
that's what
spot?" I'm like, I don't know what's happening. Anyways, for those of you not watching us, we are also on YouTube. So go to youtube.com/boybandbreak, or you can listen to us on Anchor or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Boy Band Break. We have a link tree that has all of our links. We have a Ko-fi if you'd like to donate money to us, which no one has. Just first time for everything. And and we are available on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, kind of, pretty much anywhere. We're here. Check us out.
C-O-I-B-A-N-D-B-R-E-A-K.
Yeah, subscribe.
Excellent.
Anyway, so I think we're going to start off for, if anyone was listening, what was that, 3 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago?
For what?
We did our 4th annual
2 weeks ago.
Boy Band Break Fantasy Football Draft. Fantasy Boy Band Draft. It was not football.
draft,
It
but
has
yeah.
nothing to do with sports or balls. Well, balls that you play with. Okay, moving on. They're just boy bands. We drafted boy band. We drafted members of.
You're going to get there eventually. Don't
It's a
worry.
little late at night, guys. It's been a long week. We're all very tired. Anyways, so this was our 4th annual. So I believe our first year, Diane won. Second year, Sophia won. Third year, Diane won. So I feel like we should see how it went. So I'm going to pull up each of the groups in order of what, because we do a draw.
If you follow us on social media, this is very anticlimactic because you already know what happened. But carry on.
I shall carry on anyways. So we did the thing. So how it works basically is that we go through and we have a number and we go in that order. And then everybody picks a boy band member for round 1. You just keep going until you have your 5-member boy band. Then you come up with a name and then there you go. And then it gets put out for voting. So first up, if I do this correctly, did I do
Yeah, you did it. Woo!
All right.
Okay.
First up, we have Diane's band, Back Sync on the Block. Diane, please recap your band members and their band they are from.
Pardon? What?
Their names and the band they are from. Sorry.
We have Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys. We have Howie D from the Backstreet Boys. We have Lance Bass from NSYNC. We have Justin Timberlake from NSYNC, and we have Joey McIntyre from New Kids on the Block. Hence the Back Sync on the Block.
Yeah, that's only because Diane ran out of Backstreet Boys and NSYNC members, I believe.
It's because you guys stole my strategy. Thank you.
No, we didn't.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
All right, so
No, I didn't.
I
the
certainly did.
total. So yes, we because that's what Diane did last year, was just Backstreet Boys and NSYNC members.
And I won by a landslide.
A landslide. But anyways, so
You mean a
for that-
landslide?
A landslide. But I have a new theory that I'm not going to share. So
we're gonna forget by next
get ready
year.
for me to win next year.
It's just us girls.
You just ruined it.
Okay,
It's just
so
us
we have three wins.
No. Okay, fine.
We got to go up to the who wins.
We all have very terrible
All I said
memories.
is get ready for me to win next year. That's all I said.
You're not going to win. I'm going to take it again next year like this year. Let's go,
No,
Chinzia.
you just ruined it because you just said again.
Okay,
Because
moving
you
on.
keep
So,
doing it. So I'm going to...
Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, where we had our votes. So on
Instagram.
Instagram,
15 votes.
Diane got Backsync on the Block got 1 vote. On Facebook, they got 1 vote. On Twitter, they got 35.9 votes, which went to percentage of a vote, went 23. So she came out overall with 25. So currently, Diane is in the lead. Moving on to our next one.
Only because you're the first one who read it.
It's true. It's true.
All right. Now we got Infectious 19. Lydia, please describe your band.
So, obviously we're still in pandemic. Sucks. But these guys are gonna infect you with their love. So we have AJ from Backstreet Boys. We have Brian Littrell from Backstreet Boys. We have Joey Fatone from NSYNC. We have a Nicola Shea from 98 Degrees, and the beautiful Ashley Parker Angel, formerly of O-Town.
All right. So on Instagram, the Infectious 19 got 1 vote. On Facebook, they got 1 vote. And on Twitter, they got 14.1%, which is 9 votes, for a grand total of 11.
Wow.
Woo!
Backsync is still in the lead. So moving on to our next Backsync on the block. All right. Can she hold up with this next amazing band? That's right. It's Boys in Town. That's right. 4 years in a row, I've picked Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC. And, you know, in the past, it has not worked out for me, but did it work out this year? Let me continue on. So we got Chris from NSYNC. We got Trevor Pennock from O-Town. We got Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees. We have Dan Miller, also from O-Town. And we have RM from BTS. That is Boys Star in Town. On Instagram, this delightful band got 0 votes. On Facebook, they got 0 votes. And hold on to your hats, everyone. On Twitter, 10.9% of the vote, equaling 7. So in total, Boys in Town, they got 7 votes. Thus meaning Diane is still winning at this point in our venture. You know what, guys? I'm going to reveal my strategy for next year, too. I'm going to actually reveal my strategy. You know what's happening? Chris is still being number 1. So suck it all, Chris haters. Suck it.
Chris is being number 1 in your heart.
He's number 1 in my heart, and he will continually be there in the draft. So there you go. Much love to these men, which I will speak about 3 of them briefly in a moment. All right. Finally, we have our last team.
You got the best boy band, Dreams of Love.
Dreams of Love. Please state your characters. Members.
All right, we got Kevin Richardson from the Backstreet Boys, JC Chasez from NSYNC, Eric Michael Estrada, who I've picked every year doing this, Donnie Wahlberg, because gotta love him, right? Wahlburgers, come on. And Nick Jonas.
So one of the most diverse bands of the group, because I feel like everyone is
I chose different, I chose like a variety of people.
So
to switch it up a little.
Works, apparently. So on Instagram, Dreams of Love got 10 votes. On Facebook, they got 3 votes. And on Twitter, they got 39.1% of the vote, which is 25 votes. So in total, Dreams of Love got 38 votes, thus winning the 4th annual Boy Band Thing.
The best boy band.
Congrats!
Thanks to all who voted for Dreams of Love. Thanks for sticking with the winning team.
Thanks for sticking with the win. You're hilarious. Well, you know what? You know what other things happened during this time period since we last recorded, guys? I had a birthday. As you can see, the balloons are still kind of here. I'd like to see that it's 39.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, still there, still going strong.
Still going strong. I hope so.
For now, you know, it is what it is.
The balloons or the chinzia?
I know. It's like,
They're both
Both.
deflating. They're both deflating. Okay, so where the heck am I going here? One sec, sorry.
Okay.
are you on Facebook?
Amongst yourselves, I'm on Twitter.
Okay.
Oh.
Either Chinzia or Diane, one of you guys need to either mute when you're not talking or go to a headset because you're both feeding back on each other. Can you hear it? It was like.
Oh no, I didn't hear it, but I
Okay.
have headphones, so
Okay. Don't worry.
Please
Chinzia's still
continue.
looking at something. Okay. Sophia.
Yes.
Congratulations. Also,
Thank you.
I hate you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I will take the hate. Sometimes you just gotta have some hate when you're that successful in picking the boy band.
I've been like 3rd place every time. What is going
And
on?
for me, I was 4th. I picked 4th, and I didn't think I would win because you never know, right?
Yeah.
But I think people love Kevin Richardson so much, and they're like, we gotta give it to them. We gotta. And JC, JC too. They're like, yeah, we gotta give it to JC, Eric Michael Estrada, Townies. Thank you so much for voting on Instagram. Almost like majority of the votes are from the Townies. So good on you.
Where was my people? Like twice? Because I'm like, oh, okay, so the first year of the pandemic, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be cute. But then like second year, I'm just like, oh fuck, we're still in a pandemic. Okay, I guess I'm gonna be cute again. Yeah, I guess the cute vote doesn't get you anywhere, guys. So disappointing.
That's okay.
Man.
It's still a fun name. And you got more votes than Chinzia on Instagram and Facebook.
Well,
so that's
easy.
good.
I don't have Chris in my page.
Hurtful.
Oof.
Okay,
All right,
good. I can
ready
hear
to
now.
share.
Oh yeah, you sound great. Okay, that's much better. Thank you, Dee.
Wonderful.
No problem.
Good job.
All right, so
that was
my
fun.
birthday.
We're glad that we did that. Okay, go ahead, Chinzia.
on my birthday, it started off. Thank you all for your happy birthday wishes and stuff. And thank you to Sophia for helping to secure some of these. So our very first one.
No problem.
Oh, okay.
my
I'm like,
screen.
what are you securing?
I tweeted them.
So Sophia said, hey, Jeff Timmons, it's Chinzia's birthday. I know, make your day, wish happy birthday. So this is from Rewind Con, which was an interesting convention. And then this was from when we went, I guess you can't really see my pointing thing because I'm seeing it on my screen, but obviously you cannot see that. Okay, cool. So the one on the left is from Rewind Con. The one on the right is from LA when we went to go see the Backstreet Boys movie premiere, and Jeff Timmons was there. So, and just like chilling out front, taking pictures with people because, you know, with this weird stripper man. But anyways, so he sent me a happy birthday with a little emoji of a present and a balloon. So that was
wonderful.
That started it off. So what
That's
happened? So then my second one, is this guy who I was just like, you know what? One boy, it's a busy year. People are probably not going to be whatever. But then
so I
Here we
tweeted
go.
out a bunch of boy banders. Hey, can you wish her a happy birthday? Nothing happened for the rest of the day. And then Chinzia, here you go.
and then and this was not a reply. It was just to me, which I think is awesome
Yes.
because obviously he
Absolutely.
it said, happy birthday, Chinzia. Hope you're celebrating with a little balloony, like an emoji lap. So that was from Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys. So thank you, Nick, for that. And then I was like, all right, that's pretty awesome. I'm not going to get any more. That's cool. Until, my friends, I think it was actually the next
big one. The big one.
The big one. Actually, it was on the
hubby.
12th. So it was 3 days.
Hubby.
later. And then Hubs came, and Hubs, which is my delightful Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC, and said, Serial Chins, my girl, with a whole bunch of exclamation marks.
Aw.
Happy belated with exclamation marks. So I was like, all right.
So happy for you, buddy.
Because on my actual birthday, I think he was at a concert or something, or he posted at Permanente Brothers with Josh, who is the bodyguard from the Backstreet Boys, that they're friends because they live in Nashville. So I was like, all right, that's cute. They're hanging out together. I'm not going to get a message from Chris, but he sent it. So lovely, good times. So thank you, boy banders.
Congrats.
And
Yay.
3 of you were in my team. So what does that mean? It means that they may not have won the vote.
3.
I had. Did I not have?
You didn't have Nick. You didn't have
You
Nick.
didn't have
in
Nick on
band.
your team. I had.
Okay, 2 were in my team, and 1 is Nick, and whatever. It is what it is. So thanks, guys. So that's where we are there. Does anyone else? Okay, so did we talk that Vegas was canceled yet? Did we do that?
No, we do not.
Yes, because that happened the day after my birthday. So I was like, all right, this is good. My boss gave me American money. He's like, have fun in Vegas for these Christmas shows. I'm so excited that you're going. Cool. And then the next day they're like, just kidding. The shows are canceled. And we're like,
The one thing we were looking forward to.
So the main thing is essentially the Backstreet Boys have been working on a Christmas album for many years, many years. They were supposed to release it last year. They lied. Then they said it was going to be this year. And they're like, yeah, it's 100% coming out this year. We're in the studio. By June, we're going to have them all done. And it's going to be ready for Christmas time, like blah, blah, blah. And we're going to do these Christmas shows, blah, blah, blah. They did not finish in time. Now, I'm not blaming any specific person. But in my head, we're all blaming a certain member. I am blaming a certain member due to the past.
Oh, I think you're blame. Oh, I never mind. I thought you were
Howie?
talking about something else.
No. I'm blaming Kevin. I have no
Oh.
basis to blame Kevin, but I just know that he is slow AF making any sort of decisions at all. So that's who I've decided to put the blame on. Probably isn't him. I'm probably just saying that, but it's just
Maybe it could be Brian.
like could be
No,
Brian.
guys, it's 100% not Brian. Like, Brian is on Instagram being like, wish we were in Vegas right now. Like,
Oh, that's true. Okay, yes.
It's
Once he
definitely
posted
not
that,
Brian.
yeah. So
I'm
it's
not
probably
gonna say
I'm not
it's
usually
not
in defense
Nick.
of Brian, but in this case, I am in defense of Brian. It's not him.
okay. So once I saw that Instagram post, you're right. Okay.
I'm going to say it's not Nick because Nick is literally recording another album right now because why the hell not? Nothing's happening.
Well,
he's
maybe
doing
if
some
he wasn't
coke.
doing that and busying himself with other tasks. No, I'm kidding.
I have no idea. You know what? It could have been management. It could have been them not making decisions. There's many reasons, whatever.
It could be Howie. Who knows? Maybe it's
Yes,
Howie.
it is COVID times. It could be Howie. He's off
Like-
fishing on a boat somewhere.
Guys,
Maybe you
guys,
just want to be with family. I don't know.
Their excuse is
Yeah.
that everything takes longer because of COVID. So like
Right,
something
and it
that
does.
should normally take 2 weeks takes a month or something like that.
Yeah.
they want
right.
to make the money off this album, guys. Sweet, sweet money. So if
Well,
half of
that's
their
their-
people can't come in because the borders are still fucking closed, what are they gonna do? They're
That's what
waiting.
AJ was saying on the TMZ.
TMZ
interview.
actually
Yeah.
had AJ and Joy Fatone on there because they're like, oh, you can't do the Christmas shows because, you know, COVID or whatever, but you and AJ, Joey, and Chris from NSYNC, and I believe Ryan Cabrera were all in Miami this weekend doing like a beach party, a pool party thing or something. So like, how can you do that and not do the other thing, right? Like, and they're going to Florida, like, you know, whatever. So essentially it was pretty much down. They don't want to do the Christmas shows without having the albums done. So
Yeah.
that's what they're claiming.
No, but
Also-
Lydia's right. At the end of the day, the thing is, it doesn't make sense because, okay, you didn't do the Vegas shows because they didn't sell well enough is the reality of the situation, right? Fine.
Mhm.
I get it.
I don't
Right?
know if anyone
Why not
actually saw
release
this
the album? Why not release the album?
Right.
You could do that.
Many people
Oh, for
released
sure.
Right?
Christmas albums.
Because it doesn't make
And
sense to
don't
say we're
tour.
not doing the Christmas shows because we're not done the album, because that's not an excuse. You've proven that you can do the shows without having an album. When they did their original set of Vegas shows, DNA was supposed to be out. That
True.
was their 25th anniversary. It should have come out during that time, and it didn't. And they went ahead with the show anyways. There are 1,000 fucking Christmas songs that are already written and that you've already procured certain licenses to. Just fucking sing them. Sorry
True.
about all the swearing.
They already have two of their own Christmas songs.
This is what I'm
already
saying.
done.
Right?
Yeah.
Just
Put those
sing
two
it.
on.
Just do the shows, right? But it's that it comes down to this, and
Yeah.
it comes down to they seem to think that this Christmas album is going to be fucking mind blowing.
Because we've been waiting for 4 years. Or
But I
It
don't
better
think you
be
understand.
mind blowing.
But I
is all
feel
I'm
like-
saying.
I feel like they're gonna like set us up for high expectations,
But
and
it's
it's not
like-
gonna be that good.
But it's
Yeah.
like we don't want to do the show without the album because we have all these ideas for merch and certain design things
And then the merch is not gonna be good either.
No,
Everything
they were
nutcrackers.
talking on thing. I saw it. You know how like the promo for it was like they were all like nutcrackers. They were literally going to make those nutcrackers, and I'm like, that is
Oh.
brilliant because I
Okay.
would buy
They
those,
could still do those things.
but they
True.
don't want to because they want it all, right? So it's
But like 98 Degrees has Christmas concerts they don't release a new Christmas album every year. They do a Christmas concert.
But here's the thing: 98 Degrees is hard up for cash. No offense,
Right.
But 90 Degrees is hard up for cash. They need to do it now because they need the money now. Backstreet Boys don't need the money now,
I need my mortgage payment. Yeah.
right?
Come on.
Like
Well, and
90
here's the
Degrees
other
is
thing.
trying to become relevant again, right? Or
That's
at
a
least
good
as
point.
relevant as the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC are, right? So it's like they need to do it. Backstreet Boys don't need to do it, right? And they don't want to release the album because they want it to be with the show, and they don't want to do the show without the album. And so it's like things aren't working out in terms of like maybe the album's not going to be released before November because of whatever editing and things they have to do, and they had some shows starting in November, right? Could it have
And
come out in
maybe,
December?
because most of the shows
Maybe.
were only half sold.
Maybe it could have come out in December, and that would have been perfectly fine, but then you would have had to do some shows prior to the album coming out, right? And then it's like we don't want to do the shows also because they're not selling as well as we could have, and that's probably due to a pandemic and the fact that like we
Yeah,
don't
everyone's mental and
let
scared.
anyone come into our country for some
Yeah.
reason, even though we have the worst COVID of probably like most countries in the world. We're going to keep you all out.
Yeah.
Keeping you up
Like,
to
I
date,
don't
they've now
understand.
extended it to October 21st for Canadians not being allowed to the States by
Yeah.
car.
So
Pretty
it's
sure
just,
it's been
it's
extended.
whatever. I don't know. I was not pleased when I heard it was canceled.
Same.
I just feel like it's a real slap in the face to people who bought tickets and were like excited for it. Just
And
like
they
that.
did-
You guys aren't good enough. I don't give a shit about you. We need more people.
Right.
But
You
even
know.
just like simple things like they had some like the after party that Nick and AJ did, and some of the other stuff that happened in the summer. People are like, okay, well, I don't want to go to the summer one because I'm going to go to the Christmas shows. So they didn't buy tickets for that specifically because it's expensive to go to Vegas. And then now they're just like, just kidding. After these other events have happened, which
Yeah.
I went off without a hitch, now
Yeah.
we're canceling this stuff. So
yeah.
Yeah.
it's kind of annoying, obviously, but
Yeah. It's very
Definitely,
frustrating.
disappointing.
Yeah. It's frustrating.
That's why, as I have said, bye. I'm a townie now.
and there's
Oh,
some
come
fun
on.
shows coming up that I was all excited to go to and still
Can't
can't
go.
go.
Still can't go, but it's fine. One day.
One of these days.
One day.
The Backstreet Boys will call you back, and you'll just go running back because they're like,
I
oh,
probably will because I'm a damn sucker.
Well,
But
like maybe just do a virtual show. People do that.
you know
Other
what I
bands
mean?
do that.
Give us something. Act like you give a shit about the people who bought tickets for this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like instead of like, oh, sorry, it's canceled. Bye. And meanwhile, like they don't give it. Nick's in the studio live on Instagram, like, yeah. Oh, you look really fucking sad there.
Yeah, that was so weird. You announced
Yeah.
it and then you're in the
Yeah.
studio. What the?
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
Doesn't even know. And then he also bailed.
Doesn't
on
even know it's
Boston-
accurate. Yeah.
He bailed on the Boston comic thing last minute, which granted we don't know what the reasoning is, but
But then you're on Instagram again posting
you're on
stuff.
Instagram smiling and shit the next
I
day.
have other ideas about why that might be, but
But he did go to the Salt Lake City one, and people who went had a really good time.
yeah,
So
everything on the
true.
West Coast of
Yeah.
America.
because the East Coast people have been supporting your asses this entire time. But whatever, West Coast.
We've talked about this before. Their tour, the first leg of the DNA tour, the planning, whoever planned that is an idiot, because literally every single East Coast show, every show that was on the East Coast of America or Canada was not just sold out, but had scalper tickets selling for like $3,000. Okay.
3,000.
Yeah, if you wanted to sit in the front,
Yeah.
$3,000.
Jesus.
Okay.
In Toronto.
Meanwhile, in like Northern California, they're selling tickets for $10 and no one
I know.
buys.
Oh my God, that's
Like,
crazy.
What's the logic here? Like, and they have like 20 shows over there that are not even half sold, but like, no need to add more shows on the East Coast. Fuck those bitches. Like, I don't get it.
I would
right?
love to see the logistics of the tour managers and stuff.
This is like, do something in New York. That's where all your friggin' fans are. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like the people that went to Salt Lake City are pretty
I
much
like
all
that.
East
I love
Coasters
it.
that like flew over there.
Yeah.
Couple Vegas went up because it was close, but like for the most part, it was most of the East Coast going over to that on last minute to get there. But
And these are like, no offense, I'm not like shading anyone, but these are just like hardcore Nick fans. Like these are not even
Yeah.
like Backstreet Boy hardcore fans. They're hardcore Nick specific fans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is totally fine and totally cool. Again, no shade. Hi, I'm one of
because
them. But like,
if the border was open, we would have also gone to Salt Lake City because I was
oh,
like,
I definitely would not have. I'm just not in a mood. I would have kicked him in the balls. But
well, if we had tickets for Boston that he bailed on, then yes, I would have been.
Oh yeah, when
Yeah.
he bailed on the Boston Con, not cool.
Oh,
it would
yeah,
have been
no.
like throat punching and dick kicking. Like,
I was so mad, and I wasn't even going. And I was like, you know what? It's good. I saved $400 in COVID fees, so whatever.
This
It's
is
would
true.
not have been a good idea for me to go to Salt Lake City. Definitely
and then,
not.
did we talk about AJ canceling things yet, or no?
No,
yeah.
because we did not say that he was doing that.
But
So
let's say it
AJ
anyway.
announced a really cool event, which we were like, all right, this is cool. So it was like a family trivia night. So it was him and Rochelle and the girls, and it was going to be like a Backstreet Boys trivia night. So you would on looped. So for $50, you got in and got to watch the trivia. Then they had for $100, you did that. Plus you got little suites. So they were like little breakout rooms that fit. What are you doing, Lydia?
Oh, my one eyebrow looked weird. Sorry. I was listening to you, but also looking at my eyebrows.
I'm just like, is she winking at me? I'm like, I don't understand.
No,
I thought she
sorry.
was trying to get your attention.
Okay,
Like,
did you
look
see,
at
like,
me.
This one's like perfect, and this one's like, what the hell is this? What's going on here?
I don't know. It looks okay.
Nobody?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, so it was like little big breakout rooms, and then for the 150, you'd got the trivia, the breakout room, plus you got a one-on-one with AJ. So we're like, all right, that's kind of cool. So I'm like, you know what? But it got announced and launched immediately, which I thought was really weird. But I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And the next day when I looked, there were still tickets available. So again, thought that was kind of strange. So then I forgot about it for 2 days. I was like, oh crap, we were going to buy those tickets. And I go, delete, the tweet is deleted. It's not anywhere. And I'm like, so then I'm like, am I crazy or was this happening? And then Looped messaged me back and they're like, oh, for more information, please send an email to this email. And I'm like, aight. So then I did because I was like, well, what the hell? And then they're just like, oh, it's been rescheduled and we're just working out the new dates, but it'll be fine. So I'm like, okay, I don't know why you would reschedule it 2 days after announcing it. Like, do people not check their calendars when they do these things? Like
Well,
do they not think it through of like what's happening? Like I don't
remember
understand.
how he canceled the con in his state on his birthday weekend. So it's just like, I just feel like everyone let's just get your hopes slightly up.
I know. You're
It's
trying to, like,
literally
look-
laughable at this point. Like, it's literally, when you told me about the Loop thing, I literally started laughing. I'm like, of course it's canceled. Of course it is.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't it be?
But the thing is, they know that we're patient and we're just going to keep coming back to these mofos.
Right. This is why you can't do it. Like, this is why I'm like low key, like, oh, okay, you refunded my money for Vegas. Good luck getting me to buy that again. And like, I know I probably will, but like, I wish I had the willpower not to, because that's the only thing that's going to make anything change.
Listen,
Right? Like-
listen. They're okay. They are like Oreo cookie of the boy band break. You're gonna go to Fudgio, man? Come on. Oreo.
Pretty
But
good.
at least Fudgio gives a shit
At
and
least Fudgio is
respects my
consistent with their
dollar when I
flavor.
give it to them.
Fudgio is not made with Dutch cocoa that gives it that beautiful black color that is delicious and irreplaceable. No other cookie does it. It's impossible.
You know what?
Oreo
Fair.
cared a little bit.
Listen, we're in an age bracket now. Like, let's be honest. All the boy bands are all our boy bands. We're gonna talk about Why Don't We in a second. But like all our boy bands from the 90s, their fans are, 30 plus for the most part.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
Yes.
Some of them are 40 plus, we're respected grown women at this point. We're not idiot teenagers.
Yes.
Like,
That's true.
be honest with me, be upfront with me, and respect me
During my
as
time.
an adult woman
Yeah.
who can take the truth.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I
okay.
mean?
That's yeah.
And value me as a customer, as a
Yes.
repeat customer.
Because we
As a
kind of
fan, right? As a fan, we've been following you for so long.
That's what I'm saying. It's like the people who bought tickets to Vegas, let's be perfectly honest, for these Christmas shows were the ride or dies. The people who bought tickets for Vegas are the people outside of like there. I'm sure there's Europeans who like literally just couldn't. Right. Although
Yeah.
I did hear that some of them were just going to like do the quarantining and testing and whatever and come over. Like that's what
Wow.
they were just going to do. But like the people who bought tickets for Vegas, us included, we're not really supposed to go into America, but we were going to pay to get COVID tested to come
$200
to
each
America.
way. So $400.
We were going to pay to get COVID tested to come to America, to come to the show. And then you're just like, oh, you guys, I don't care. We need more people than just you. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like,
yeah.
oh, okay, sorry. Like,
F
Yeah.
me, I guess.
That doesn't make you feel good. Yeah.
Yes, like, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like
That makes you feel
during-
bad.
let's be honest, during like, you know, the Unbreakable years and the This Is Us years and the In a World Like This years where like things weren't really happening for the Backstreet Boys, they were very like under the radar. We're the people who were there, who were at your shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
legit,
Then
legit.
you went to Vegas, which was a great move on your part. No one's denying it. Like, fantastic business move. You know, you got the #1 song with the Don't Go Breaking My Heart, right? DNA was a hit. The tour was a hit. You started getting all these new fans in, and now it's like, oh, fuck you guys. We got all these new people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ew.
Very much.
You get like the walk-in tourists who like,
What have you
shit, I
done
don't
for
want
me
to
lately?
stick with my wife. What can I do today? Oh, the Backstreet Boys. Let's go watch them.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it just feels like, oh, okay, well, unless we can get all these other people like we've gotten before, then now you guys aren't good enough anymore.
Yeah.
Like you don't
know?
matter kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like, okay, thanks a lot. Right.
Yeah.
But like, listen, and we've said it on this podcast 100 times. I'm sure you're sick of hearing it. Since 2020, Chinzi and I, we did the interview with O-Town. We did all the concerts. We're not even like known fans to them. And the way that they treated us and were so like whatever, we're not repeat customers. Right?
Mm.
They treat their repeat customers. I mean, we're not repeat customers.
We're not like, yes. We're
You
not
know,
the hardcore O-Town. We're not the hardcore townies, but the townies, they know everything about them. They know where they're from.
Like, oh,
They
hey,
know
where are
they're
you?
like-
Oh, how's it going? And blah blah blah. Where you're from? And how's your mom? And how's your boyfriend? And like, it was. We got to see sort of like what those. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what the hell? Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, this is what it's like in other boy bands. You know what I mean? And like, even New Kids on the Block. New Kids on the Block have been doing so much shit from, you know,
Virtual, yeah,
I know-
virtual.
and I know that there are some members of New Kids on the Block that are not as
that are a little more
active as
funny than the
others.
others.
Yeah. Right. But Donnie Wahlberg knows his fans. He knows who the hardcore blockheads are. He's out there. He's whatever. Right. Giving them props. The Backstreet Boys just aren't doing it. They're just
Yeah.
not.
Yeah, I
Right?
feel like they just don't care. Yeah, it makes it seem like they just don't care.
It's like at the end of the day, you're being taken for granted. Right? It's like,
Yeah.
you're going to buy the tickets no matter what we do. You're going to, you know, whatever, no matter
You're
what
gonna
we do.
support no matter what.
So why put in any effort?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll just sit on my ass. Like, why bother?
Yeah, that does kind
Yeah.
of suck. It is
You know what
kind
I
of
mean?
like hurtful. Mhm.
And I will admit it because I am one of them. I will be a sucker. I'm sure I will be back there.
Yeah,
Right?
I know.
Because that's
FOMO.
my band. But like, it's just right now in this moment, I'm pissed off.
Yeah, and that's totally fair. Absolutely.
Which is
Yeah.
understandable.
You know?
Because, like, you're right. We
It's
are
so
kind of
okay to feel
customers.
that.
And I feel like we've talked about this before. It's because Backstreet Boys have been active for, what is it now, 28 years?
They never had the real break.
They never had the
Yeah.
real break. Like maybe for maybe a year and a half, they were kind of and then the years when Kevin wasn't there, they weren't as active. But they've always had a steady base of people all the time. Whereas these other boy bands like O-Town, like 98 Degrees, like New Kids, like everyone
They've
has
never had to be
time
out
off.
there like getting other jobs to make money.
Yeah.
They've never had to take up
True.
construction like O-Town people have.
Or real
like-
estate.
But
Like,
even New
New
Kids,
Kids.
right? Like they were out, even NSYNC. NSYNC is still like pretty relevant in terms of like whatever. But like the guys in NSYNC have had to take up Lance, Joey, Chris. They've had to
Lance
take
is a
other
friggin' hustler.
jobs. Granted, they've been lucky enough for those jobs to still be like in the entertainment realm.
Yeah.
Right, because of who they are, so they didn't have to go get a job cutting people's lawns.
Yeah.
But like they've had to go out and work and do other things and be like, well, okay, this is working out for me because I have a name that I can maintain, but they have to work for it, right? This is just like we can slap together a concert and all these people are going to come regardless. So, you know.
Yeah. They're not
Yeah.
hungry for it.
And I understand, like they're saying it's a production thing and it's so special that we want everyone to experience. And like maybe that's minorly true. You know, I want to believe that that's at least partially true. You know, because in my heart of hearts, I don't want to believe that it's just all about the dollar. But like, even if that's true, give us something. Do something.
Like a virtual concert. Why not?
Something. I don't know what it doesn't have to be that, because that involves them all getting together, which is apparently a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
But
We all
like,
get together. They can do what we're doing.
They don't need to be in the same
Lydia,
room.
they can't sacrifice anything, okay? They can make no sacrifices. It just has to organically happen that they're all free.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Frustrating. Maybe
Well, they
we
didn't
should-
want to record the Christmas album apart. They wanted to be together. So
Yep, couldn't do it separately. No, we all have to be together, but we're also all incredibly busy doing God knows fucking what. So, you know,
Maybe they're gonna release a documentary of that.
it's like a
weekend?
one
Yeah, okay.
weekend a year we can
No.
get together and do something. Jesus Christ.
Hmm. So it's been 37 minutes. We should probably talk about the band that we
We
have
should
to
probably talk about something that's equally as angering.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so we're gonna switch gears now. So, oh my goodness, what is happening? Sorry, my computer's been doing some weird shiznit right now. One sec, let me just scroll back a bit. I believe this also came out on my birthday, or near my
Yeah.
birthday.
This was kind of sad.
It was on my
We'll talk about
birthday as
next.
well, and I was like, okay, so should I read the thing first, or should I give a quick
Read-
background of why don't we, or?
Yes.
Quick
People
background. Then
know, why don't we? I think
So
we
we've
can skip
talked
the
about
background.
why don't we?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, let's talk about who they are. They're
Okay.
Daniel,
So-
Corbin, Jack, and Jonah.
Okay, so Jack Avery, Corbin Besson, Zach Heron, Jonah,
Why are you saying it again?
Daniel
Okay, I guess.
Peavy.
Did I mispronounce it? Shit.
Okay. Anywho, they formed in 2016. They've released 2 studio albums, 6 EPs, and they've been nominated for MTV Music Video Awards. And then there's more information on them, but we can talk about that later if we
Well,
want.
They're
They're
very
major
popular,
hits.
apparently.
So there was some interesting stuff in like what they have, but I'm going to read to you the I
Troubling
guess
tweets.
press release. I guess they tweeted this out. So this is something that they did on the 9th of September. So it's fairly recent. So this stuff is still in development right now. So it's a fluid situation, if you will. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to read it off the screen because that screen is too small. So it says, as many of you are aware, the unfortunate truth of the mental, emotional, and financial abuse we have suffered at the hands of our production company has recently come to light. While our initial instinct was to wait for the storm to pass, as we've been conditioned to do, We have matured to the point where we now realize that suffering in silence is no longer an option. It is not healthy for either us or our fans. Without a doubt, publicly sharing our truth makes us feel more vulnerable. However, it is a step we are forced to take to provide the world with access to the harsh behind the scenes that we endured as young teens, where verbal abuse, malnourishment, and ultimate control were positioned as the price of success. We were 15 to 18 years old when Why Don't We started. We were young, impressionable, and trusting, and the result of being brought up in loving, supportive families. While we were initially excited to all be living together in the same house, working together on what we loved most, our music, little did we know we would eventually become prisoners in the Why Don't We compound, under the supervision of one of our managers at Signature Entertainment Partners. He would not only live with us during the day, but controlled us 24/7, setting an alarm that would go off if any door or window was open. Needless to say, we were not given the security code to the alarm, essentially making us hostages in our own home. Food was restricted to the point that some band members developed eating disorders. We had to sneak food in and hide it in our dresser. We were verbally berated almost every day and alienated from our friends and families. We had no support system except for each other, and we were made to believe that this was normal and that every artist had to pay their dues. Unfortunately, the need for extreme dominance has played out for the duration of our careers in a variety of ways that have not only inflicted physical and mental, but also extreme financial harm to us. This is now playing out on the public stage in a continued attempt to weaponize our love for our music and our fans. We will no longer be silenced, and we will look forward to finally closing the chapter on the traumatic stage in our lives by turning the page to our truth. Our commitment remains to our music, to our label, and most of all, to our fans who we cherish and draw strength from as we find our way through this journey.
Yeah.
So
That's
a pretty heavy
crazy. Wow.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah. So if you don't know, Why Don't We is like a very like Gen Z boy band. They've only come out in the last few years. Like literally since we've had this podcast, like 2018, I think is when they like kind of were just getting off the ground.
2016 is when they started, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like 2019.
Yeah. So they, a lot, it's Gen Z, right? So things are different from what we were used to in the 90s. There's no TRL or MTV for them to go promote themselves on. They have to be on YouTube. They have to be on TikTok, like things like that, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, what it sounds like, I don't know how much like people who listen to this podcast are like familiar with like what some of these YouTubers, like how their lives are like positioned. But basically like your Logan Pauls and your, who are some other people, Lydia? You know these.
Content houses.
Yeah, and like who's that girl? There's
The
another girl.
D'Amelios.
What?
I feel like there's some D'Amelio sisters or something.
Yeah, they're TikTokers, same kind of thing. So they get really popular, like just sort of posting content, and then they get signed to agencies and whatever, talent agencies. And then it's just like they put them in these houses. And it's like, you need to be creating content all the time, because if you take a day off, if you take an hour off, if you take whatever off, you're going to lose your audience, because TikTok and YouTube and whatever is there's constantly something new happening. And these kids are constantly on their phones. So like one hour video a week is not enough. They want more. Who are they watching the other 6 days? You know what I mean? And all the other hours of that day, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like also the algorithm punishes you if you don't constantly publish things too, right? Because like the algorithm can favor you. Like if the more you're posting, the higher that you get on the ranking list. If you're not posting enough, like then same stuff like that. And like what's interesting about them, right, is because like they're actually like kind of lifting the veil on stuff that goes on behind the scenes, because I'm sure Lou did the same shit to
Mhm.
our guys. But we didn't talk about our problems back then. But now,
No.
like with this new generation, they talk about everything. They post everything. They post receipts. They're like, all this stuff. It's so good in a way. You know, I don't know.
Mhm,
Anyways,
mhm.
You're aware. You're aware of more things that's
Yeah.
going on behind. Yeah.
exactly. So like the major problem, what was happening with Why Don't We is they had two different managers who were like co-managing together. So
David
They were
and
best
Randy.
friends, right? They were best friends.
are they? I don't know.
I don't know. I
Well,
thought
I have
it.
no idea.
They were
Maybe the girl
co-managers.
that.
They
Okay,
were
maybe.
friends.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry. Continue.
Oh no! I mean, like, okay, so like the major breakdown, what happened, like, was that they're co-managed, and obviously there's two different management styles. There's one who's like the laid-back, awesome guy, and then there's the other guy who made their life a living hell. Like
I think it
would-
was Randy was the good one, and David was the
Yeah,
one they
so
didn't like. Yes.
David Loeffler is the other one. Randy Phillips is the nicer one, but there's also, I'm sure he also did stuff. So essentially,
Oh,
they
100%.
made a business. So they made an LLC. So it was like, and then they signed them up as employees of this business. Is how they did it. So on like
Which
how
is
Lou had a
weird.
contract of the band and put himself in as the sixth member when Lou Pearlman was screwing people over. They had this as a business, so whatever. So and I
limited
guess that
liability.
one point, Randy decided he wanted to take a break and he was going to pursue another job. So he left for about a year. But when he left, he said, "Hey, do I have your word that when I come back, like I can come back?" And they're like, yeah, of course, of course. So after a year, Randy tried to come back and David was like, "No, you're not coming back." And then the band was like, "Well, we want Randy." Like, too bad, so sad. So then they didn't want to do anything until Randy was reinstated. So there was kind of like, so then he sued them for breach of contract, I guess,
Yes.
because it says here, so the thing was on September 9th when Why Don't We put the thing. So it's here, it says lawyers for Signature Entertainment, an LLC managed by the band's co-manager, David Loeffler, told E! News in a statement on Friday, September 10th, recent comments attributed to Why Don't We members are untrue, hurtful, and apparently designed to be part of an ill-advised strategy to evade their obligations under these agreements.
Wow.
So then Why Don't We did their own statement
Spanish.
to petition the California Labor Commission to throw out its contract for allegedly violating the Talent Agencies Act. And then there's a legal thing going on with Randy. And it says last month, so this would have been August, I guess, Loeffler fired Phillips, so that's Randy Phillips, from the investment company that controls Signature Entertainment, which ended Phillips' management of the band. Billboard reported that Loeffler later claimed the group refused to sign a new recording contract with Atlantic or perform unless Phillips was reinstated as their manager.
Good.
On August 17th, Loeffler sued Phillips and the 5 individual band members. In his lawsuit filed in Florida court, he alleged breach of contract, anticipatory breach of contract, and tortious interference with the business relationship. Signature has filed suit to preserve its rights under contracts that are legal, binding, and fully enforceable under Florida law. These profit share agreements have been very beneficial to the individual members of Why Don't We, and approximately $10 million has already been paid to the members under these agreements. I
I don't think so.
okay, because I'm pretty
$10
sure
million each, or for the whole group?
I have no idea. Just
They
this
get paid
time.
$40 a day under their
Oh, okay, I didn't read that part. On August 26th, Phillips, so Randy, countersued Loeffler in LA to try to remove him from the band's management team. In his lawsuit, he said the accusations about his former partner are similar to those the band has made in the recent statement. In the complaint, Phillips claimed that at the start of the group's career, Loeffler subjected the band members, 4 of whom were minors at the time, to cruel and unsafe conditions when Loeffler was living with them at a rental property that had been secured for them to develop music. Loeffler suggested the members to daily verbal abuse, screaming at them at the top of his lungs, sometimes for 10 to 20 minutes at a time, threatening to end their careers if they did not follow his directions. Loeffler would monitor almost every movement they made, not allow them to go upstairs, and hardly allowed them to leave the house. The complaint continued, Loeffler did not allow them to have friends or visitors, did not feed them properly, and each night set a house alarm, which they did not know the code to make sure they did not leave.
That's crazy.
Attorney said, after years of mental and financial abuse, At the hands of David Loeffler and his associates, Randy Phillips seeks to salvage a deteriorating relationship with the Rising Stars, Why Don't We, and the production company co-owned by Phillips. Loeffler's mistreatment of the primary assets of the companies gravely endanger the survival of the companies for no motive, blah, blah, blah. Why Don't We's lawyer said in a separate statement that in response, the group members support Randy Phillips the same way he has supported us from the start of our careers. And yep, so that's pretty much, so that's that one. So a couple of other, because I watched a couple of YouTube videos as well. So there's one in which you hear David Loeffler like losing his mind on, I believe it was Zach.
Yeah, for eating
a Caesar salad.
Caesar salad.
That was crazy. 3-minute video.
Screaming and losing his mind. He's like, and I guess Randy told him he could order a salad or whatever. And he's just like, Randy can have 6 salads because Randy is a big person. You're nobody. You can't have salad. So I don't know if the salad was expensive or he thought that was fattening. Like they don't.
Caesar salad is the most fattening of the salads, but it's the best salad. But the thing is, though, I was watching some other videos too, and like they were only allowed to eat goldfish crackers, ramen and oatmeal. And if they snuck anything in the house, they would eat it and then flush the wrapper down the toilet.
Yes,
oh my God, I saw that, yeah.
The plumber got called in and took the wrappers out of the toilet, and then they got yelled at.
And they literally thought their career was ending there because they had an issue with the toilet because they flushed Gushers wrappers down.
That was insane.
There was another one that apparently...
it sounds like it has nothing to do with like being health and being fit and being thin, and more to do with like, this is cheap fuel that's gonna just like barely keep you alive.
Yes.
So like, and then apparently I also, in one of the other ones I heard that they had to keep, Jack Avery is the one who has the baby, right? Lavender, I think her name is. They kept that a secret from management for as long as possible because they knew that, because they weren't supposed to have girlfriends or whatever, but they were going to make her get an abortion if they would have heard that ahead of time. Somebody had said that.
Holy crap!
So, like,
how can they though? Because they can't. She's
not a member of the band. What does it really mean?
Oh, but you know, persuasion.
Saying that's crazy for saying that.
They were probably just worried that they would like encourage her and intimidate her, and that maybe she would whatever.
Yeah,
of course.
But so I was trying to think, I'm like, to try to compare this to like the Lou Pearlman situations. And although I know obviously Lou stole tons of money from them and things like that, I feel like I've never once heard the boys complain about not being fed or anything. In fact, Lou would take them to fancy dinners all the time at that Pearlman Steakhouse and stuff. So like,
I feel like honestly, and it's like, whatever. I feel like this is more like when you said that they created a company and then signed them as employees of the company, that's what those K-pop people do. The Big Hit Entertainment, they sign all the boy bands as employees of the company, right? And so when you sign the contract with the company, I just think the K-pop like industry is more upfront about it. Like you want to be famous, you want to be BTS, this is what you have to do. So you're either going to sign this contract and you're going to do all these things, you're going to live in this house in these bunk beds that are all close together, and you know, you're not going to be able to go out and you have to work every single day and you're not going to see your family, and we're going to restrict what you eat because we want you to stay thin and fit a certain aesthetic and whatever, you know. But I just feel like they're more upfront about it, and you know what you're getting into when you go in.
And I feel like BTS is reaping these benefits of the profit sharing and the things like that.
You hope so, right?
I think they said that they.
We don't know.
And not.
We didn't hear anything about BTS.
Would we though?
True.
Wasn't it just the other day though that they became millionaires? Few months ago, don't you remember that?
Yeah, we did read an article about that.
Like, how is it possible that they just became millionaires now?
Now,
but I didn't know. I think there was some like technicality that it was like they just became millionaires on account of X. That doesn't include like all the like
part of the company or something like that. Or something. I'm not really sure. So I'm not saying that it is cheap to have a boy band. Obviously, the house rental fees, the the people coming in, the dance, like, and I know that
Clothing,
stuff needs to be
feeding.
recouped. So like, yes, this stuff needs to be recouped and all that other stuff, but you can do it in a way where you're not emotionally and physically abusing your members and beating them down and stuff like that. Like,
because it's supposed to be a fun thing.
Like, yes, it's a business. Yes, you want to make money. Yes, that's the thing. But if your band members are depressed or whatever, like,
they're not going to perform to the
Because,
best
like-
of their ability.
exactly. Like back in the Perlman days, like they were out, they were going to movies, they were doing shit. They weren't trapped in a house. In one of the videos I saw, it said that they like, why don't we are on like air mattresses? I'm like, you couldn't even get them a fucking bed. They're like
Yeah.
They're sleeping
sharing
under
bed.
the beds. What
Yeah.
the?
Yeah, someone was sleeping under a bed. I saw that.
under
What
a
the
bed.
hell was
so I don't
that?
know if you
Yeah, that was
bed. I'm like-
weird.
Like,
Because
okay.
I mean, there's certain things like I can see being like, you know, we want to keep you healthy and fit. So we're like, you have an exercise. I'm sure, like
right,
these
because it's
K-pop
image
groups, you
or
have,
whatever. But anything I've seen of them, these
you
guys
have
are
like a fitness regimen and you have a diet regimen that you have to stick to. And the you can't have a girlfriend thing has always throughout all
Yes.
boy band history been a thing because
Yeah.
it doesn't sell if everyone has a girlfriend because you want these girls to imagine that they're going to be your girlfriend and they're going to
Yeah.
be, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same for a lot of specifically male artists. Unfortunately, females, it's not as much. I mean, you want to be desirable and you want to be sexy and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, men don't care if you're married or have a,
Yeah, it's
you
true,
know what I
it's
mean?
true.
They're just like,
Yeah,
nah, I
true.
still find
Yeah.
you physically attractive, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, even like the
True.
wrestling world, it had it's called Say So, right? Where it's
Mhm.
like yeah, right. So like, it's kind of like you have to, you're in character all the time, and you're not, you know, you're-
Kayfabe, they call it.
Is
Kayfabe.
it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so like it's like, so you're available. It's like, oh, maybe
Yeah.
you'll pick me. It's like, yeah.
You know what
But
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. It's
So
just
like all
sad.
those things are like standard.
Yeah.
But this is obviously there's certain things that are taken to extreme because it sounds like there was like again this David guy similar to Lou got extremely greedy and was like, okay, how can I spend as little money on as possible on these actual guys while still, you know,
Here's my theory. I think Lou was just excited to like take these guys on a date. You know, you know what I
well,
mean?
there's that element of Lou as
Like,
well.
Wine and dine them, right? Wine and dine
Right.
them.
Because, like, you know, Lou's like, oh, I was never popular, and now I'm hanging out with all these hot guys, and they're all coming over to my house, and look at all this memorabilia I got. You know what I mean? Like that. Lou was just kind of an odd dude in his own right. These guys are businessmen, which is completely different.
Yeah.
The dynamic is completely different. Like Lou was just like, I'm gonna take these hot guys on a date. Holy shit, a boy band worked. I didn't think this was gonna work. Okay, let's just keep making the boy band.
Well, Lou had business savvy. Like he was.
Yeah.
We've talked about it 100 times.
Many Lou episodes. Scroll back.
The Backstreet versus NSYNC thing, and he manages both of them and leveraging them to like compete against each other while, you know, getting all the money. And they have it's Coke and Pepsi, and it's a rivalry and whatever. Like brilliant, brilliant. Do you know what I mean? So he definitely had a gifted mind in that sense. But yes, I mean, obviously there was a very pervy element to Lou,
Yes, there was.
and
I forget.
we've talked in abundance about how he was kind of a loser growing up, and then
Yeah. Like, so these guys were trying to do like the no frills of boy bands, right? Oatmeal, you know, the cheapest shit. It's just like, are you still alive? Excellent. Get out there. Like, it's, you know,
Yeah.
Lou was feeding them steak, for God's sakes. Like, total difference. It's just sad. It's just sad because, like, you don't want to think of a boy band as a business, but they are in a way.
it is, yeah.
I know. It's just sad because, like, we've like like even like in that tweet is like they weaponize the music kind of against us, right?
Mhm.
And you're just like, it's just because like management can't exist without an artist. Artists cannot exist without management. Like they're both symbiotic. They both need each other. Which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
It just sucks that it's happening like that bad nowadays. You would think it would be better since the 90s.
I mean, guys, look at
You know?
Britney Spears, right?
Yeah, that's a good
her
example.
own father
Yeah.
has weaponized her career and how much money you can make from having a successful career as a recording artist against his own daughter.
Yeah.
True.
Like, so you sign a contract with some entertainment industry manager, they don't give a shit about you. You
Well,
know what I
apparently your
mean?
father doesn't give a shit either.
You are just a number to them. You know?
I know. It's so sad. She's out of it, right? Like I think
Yeah, she's officially
She's
out.
she got engaged, so she can do whatever she wants now.
No, I think it was just this week though that it officially ended.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I think from what I can understand, like from what I've read anyway, is like Jamie's like, I will cancel the whole thing as long as you don't hire that forensics accountant on me. And then she's like, fuck. You know, I think there was like an under the table deal personally.
Yeah, I feel I missed out on that information because I've been so obsessed with the Gabby Petito thing. So
Oh my god, that's been insane too. I know that's like an American thing.
completely.
I thought it was over because she got engaged. Because before she wasn't allowed to get engaged, so now that it was over, she's like, okay,
Well,
that's the first thing.
it was ending, right?
Yeah.
Like it was coming to an end. They were letting her do things. She was controlling. She was controlling her own Instagram. She was driving. She was.
Yeah, she was driving a car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Which is insane because, like I said, similar to like, why don't we? Like a 40-year-old woman should be able to drive a car if she wants to.
or
Like,
take
Right.
out her birth
You're old
control.
enough to
Yeah.
make your own decisions.
you know what I mean? So but I think officially, like after the engagement, all this stuff, like that was. If it wasn't this week, it was last week that like Jamie came out and said, "I'm ending the conservatorship." Which was kind of weird. So I agree with you, Lydia. Something definitely happened. She paid him out or something, and because he was the one who was like, "I want it ended."
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
Finally.
He was tired of all the
either he knew
crap.
some bad shit was gonna come out and figured, okay, I'm just gonna get away and hopefully, whatever, or
Cut my losses kind of thing.
Yeah.
Disappear into the night. Fuck off, Jamie.
And I think there's a Netflix special about it too.
Yes,
it's
soon.
coming out on Tuesday
Yes.
when this
Exciting.
episode airs, which is September 28th. Not that has anything to do with boy bands, but
No.
Back
that's
to
a
Why
good
Don't We
idea.
really quick. So
Yes,
they
what
posted
happened?
that thing on September 9th.
Yes.
Didn't post anything else on Twitter. On the 17th, they posted like a screen cap of like a conversation. So
Oh, yeah.
it says, so Randy says, guys, I received much needed good news. We are cleared to start releasing music. Why Don't We is back finally. And then Jonah said, let's go. And then Corbin said, no fucking way. Let's go, baby. Then Jack was like, woo. And then Zach was like, finally. And then somebody was
Yeah,
a
I
bunch
saw
of
that.
letters.
That was
So
good.
that was that one. And then today is the 24th
Yes.
that we were recording this. So on the 23rd, there was just a picture of them lying down with this like broken halo. And
Yeah.
it says, I still got your halo hanging on the corner of my bed, but when I looked closer, that shit was cracked. I was like, interesting. So then they had this tweet campaign today, the 24th of September, saying hashtag tweet to unlock love back. So people had to keep putting that hashtag.
Before this hashtag, there was the hashtag free. Why don't we? So free.
free
Why-
WDW. So that was the, so when it's funny when I tried to Google that for this article, all this Disney shit came up. I was like, what?
Yes.
And I was
Walt
like,
Disney
oh my God, Walt Disney World is also
know.
WDW. And I'm like,
know.
oh my God, I'm so
Same.
dumb. It's like
I know.
free snacks at Walt Disney. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh my God, I'm dumb.
Free snack. Free snack.
Free snack.
Yes.
So then that was for a few hours. Then I guess a lot of people did that hashtag. So then the new hashtag was hashtag love back unlocked. And then I guess their new song is going to be called Love Back. And they released some cover art, which, I can share that.
You can.
Wonderful.
Second.
They also shared a video too. When did that video come out?
I did not watch the video, but
I watched the video. It was cute. It was like really sad and somber, and then it turned like really cute. I don't know.
So
Oh,
this
nice.
is the cover art for Love Back, and it looks like they're all holding broken and tarnished halos. Yep, so there's that. And then I will stop sharing that. And the video was released on the September 21st.
Okay, that was it.
And it's 2 minutes long, so go to Why Don't We Music. on Twitter, and then you can watch that. And it looks
I'm
like,
sure we've retweeted it on Boy Band Break, so you can.
we has certainly. Oh, this is my own. Yes, I think we did. So, yeah. So it's just like a bunch of clips of them just kind of like chilling at their house and doing goofy things, I guess.
Yeah,
so,
it was cute. It was cute.
Cute.
Yeah,
Well,
like
that's
at the,
good.
the beginning was somber and sad, and then it got really cute. So it was good.
So hope so. Keep an eye on Why Don't We? Check them out. Listen to some of their music.
And I sincerely hope that, like, because there's a few other boy bands that are like out there and doing things now. There's pretty much.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously all the K-pop groups. Like, I really hope that,
We're in enough.
why don't
swing of
we
boy
sort
bands.
of pulling back the veil on this and saying that, like, this is not okay, and you know what I mean? Makes it better for, everything that's going on.
Yeah, because this shouldn't be happening in this day and age when we can record shit. Like, you can't hide behind anonymity, guys. Like call out your managers. Get your fans together, because that's unacceptable in this day and
Their
age.
fans
Absolutely.
are called limelights. I don't know why.
Aw.
But it's cute.
Cute.
I like it.
But yeah, it's just I think they did good. I think they made a good example, and like this is like, yeah, you just need to tell people what's going on, and then we'll be behind you 100%, because management.
And I mean,
can be
it's
shit.
been proven, like, if I'll, give up anything to Gen Z, they can move mountains on the internet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
True.
legit.
Millennials, we really paved the way for a lot of things,
Mhm.
Yes.
but they
We've taken
are,
abuse. We're like, millennials killing the mayonnaise industry. Millennials killing the divorce industry. Like, we're taking all the
Yeah,
abuse
industry.
for you guys. So please take this torch.
we made our mistakes on the internet. We, went through all the things so that you guys can thrive, and they are thriving on the internet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um,
Right? You guys don't have the magazines or the music stations that are like giving all the news. So you're actually getting information directly from the artists and stuff.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool.
In real
In
time.
real
In
time,
real
right?
time.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
stupid Teen Bop $4 magazines. You don't have to wait a whole night for a picture of a guy to load. You're welcome. We did that for you.
So I'm just going to do a really quick thing of what their albums are.
Yes, please.
Just super quick. So
Yeah.
they started in 2016. So they released a whole bunch of EPs.
Okay.
So, which is like
Independent pictures.
extended play.
What is
So they got together September 27th, 2016. They all met in LA a year before that. So they met at I guess they were doing their own solo singing. I think they actually put themselves together, if I'm not mistaken, when I heard that in one of the things. October 20th, their debut single, Taking You. That was from their first EP, which was Only the Beginning, which was November 25th. Then they did a little tour. Their second EP was Something Different, April of 2017. Then they did another little tour. The third EP was Why Don't We Just, and that was June 2017. So that's like 3 in 2017. Then also in September of 2017, they signed with Atlantic Records. That month, Invitation was released. So that's their fourth EP. November 23rd, they released their fifth EP, Why Don't We Christmas? That's right.
Mhm.
They released
Ah.
a Christmas album.
Ah.
And then they also headlined an invitation tour. They appeared on several vlogs of the YouTuber Logan Paul.
What?
And Paul
Yeah, they're
has
like
directed
friends with
3
him.
of their music
Oh.
videos.
Nice.
One involving their collaboration called Help Me Help You. In 2018, in August, they released their first full album, and it was called 8 Letters. In March of 2019, they did the 8 Letters tour. This is interesting. So in 2019, they released a new song each month.
Oh.
So a monthly song. So January was called Big Plans, and that got a gold certification. Valentine's Day, they released Cold in LA. March, humorous song, I Don't Belong in This Club with Macklemore was on that one.
Oh.
That was certified gold in August. On April, they released Don't Change, which was on the soundtrack for the movie Ugly Dolls. In May, their 5th song was Unbelievable. June was this one I like. I'm going to have to listen to this one. They released a song called Come to Brazil. inspired by fans frequently asking them to visit the country.
Aw,
Amazing.
cute.
So it's nice to know that Brazilians also like the new generation of boy bands, because literally every single boy band's like, come to Brazil.
Yeah.
Have we not talked about how this is a thing? Like Brazilians are aware that like that's, and they literally do it on purpose now. They just go on any celebrity person's thing and write "Come to Brazil." Like it's just
You know what?
it's like
Why
it's a
not?
meme essentially at this point.
They're just like, let's embrace this shit. Like,
That's
It's
Yeah.
a trend now. Trend
Hey
it.
guys, comment that you want Boy Band Break to come to Brazil. We're
Yeah.
you know what? I'd love to go to Brazil. Why not? That's good. All
There
right.
you go. The land of
Jul-
the, I don't know, bikinis and hot people.
July, they released a song called I Still Do. August, What Am I? Penned by Ed Sheeran.
Oh wow.
They written a song called Trust Fund Baby for them. So that was gold the next year. In October, they released Mad About You. Then November was a Christmas song, With You This Christmas.
Oh,
And
cute.
December 30th,
Aw.
their last song of 2019 was called Chills. Then they took a 9-month break. And then September 2020, they released Falling, which is the lead single of their second album, The Good Times and the Bad Ones. And that debuted 37 on Billboard Hot 100. That was their first time ever on Billboard. Then they were in a YouTube documentary, so we might want to check
Sorry.
that out. So there's a YouTube documentary called 30 Days With, which shows the latest stages of development and behind the scenes of their album for 30 days. And then their then they released songs. And then on January 15th, The Good Times and the Bad Ones was release of 2021. The album was largely self-produced, although it features productions of Travis Barker, Skrillex, and Timbaland. The album debuted at number 3 on the Billboard 200 album chart, making it the highest entry on the chart.
Ah,
Oh, good.
They cite Justin Bieber as their main musical influence.
oh,
5 Seconds of Summer, Boyz II Men, Beatles, Drake, Ed Sheeran, Childish Gambino, John Bellion, Post Malone, and Frank Ocean. So they have said they are more of an R&B boy bandy.
wow, no Backstreet.
No Backstreet Boys.
Fine,
But there you go, guys. So if you haven't heard,
Nice.
why don't
Their
we?
marketing people said that's not a good idea.
Oh, I guess so.
Because they cancel everything.
Ooh,
snap.
burn. Oh my
Burn,
goodness.
baby, burn.
So,
So
I
yeah.
haven't- yeah, I think, I'll go listen to them. Support them now.
Yes.
Now
So
that they're
check
free.
out Why Don't We? Hashtag free Why Don't We? And let's hopefully everything works out with them and
Yes. Wish them the best.
wish them all the best in all this stuff. Because as we know from previous lawsuits with boy bands, these take a while and take sometimes years to get shit done. So
This is true.
But No Strings Attached came out after they got cut with Lou, so maybe some good stuff will come
that was
after
some good
this
stuff.
guy's booted. That's
True.
Fingers
But
Fingers
they
crossed.
They didn't record that after Lou. It just came out after Lou, or
I think it was around the same time.
Mm.
I don't know.
But it was
No
like,
idea.
and they're like,
Yes, they came out after the Lou. stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember. Did Backstreet or NSYNC broke up with Lou first, or did
In
Backstreet?
Sync, the story goes that In Sync was, remember Lance got the check and
Yes.
ripped it up and
Ripped
threw
up.
it and left.
20 grand or 50 grand? The inconsistency.
So the story is that they were gonna cut ties with Lou, and then Lou said, "I own the rights to the name In Sync, and you're not
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be able to do anything, and without you're gonna have." They were like developing new band names, and I think during that time, you remember again, Backstreet and In Sync weren't allowed to be together ever.
And then there was the basketball game.
Yes.
There was that basketball game, and then two
limo drive.
NSYNC members and 2 Backstreet Boys members were in a car together,
Mhm.
and they started comparing notes, and they were like, "What the hell?" And Brian was one of them, and they told
Yeah.
Brian, like, "Listen, we're cutting him out. Like, there's a lawsuit or whatever." And then Brian told all the rest of the guys, and then Backstreet did it different though. Right. So Backstreet didn't go through like all the lawsuits that NSYNC went through. They paid Lou out to cut him out.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Which is
It
why
took a long while.
it took them so much longer to really
Yes.
get him out and like to recoup the money that they should have been making throughout the first years of their career.
Hmm.
Oh, Lou, what
Shady
am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Shady business indeed.
Shady business.
So managers, treat your people right. Don't be a shithead.
Exactly.
Happier boy bands will last longer.
If you want to be in a boy band, Lydia's looking to make one, and she won't be a shitty manager.
I
Who
won't.
has
No.
a canopy bed for you to share?
I might have a hole in the bedroom. Okay, but judging by like the last 3 years of boy band draft, I've lost every time. Perhaps I'm not the best person to make a boy band. I think Sophia and D gotta connect forces.
Yeah,
Dress them or
maybe.
something. I don't know.
By
I can
cheating.
massage their shoulders.
We could do it.
Listen to
There you
people.
go.
Teamwork
Well,
makes
yeah,
the
I think
dream
that
work.
falls into the creepy manager aspect, so they might be suing you for sexual harassment.
Damn it again! No kidding.
She's Mama Lou after all.
This is true.
All right.
Anyways,
So
thanks for
in
taking.
conclusion, sorry,
Go ahead. No, in conclusion, go ahead. Finish.
Go ahead.
Conclusion.
Sophia won the boy band draft. We're annoyed at the Backstreet Boys for bailing on things, and we wish Why Don't We the best wishes in with this lawsuit.
And I dyed my
My
hair.
cat is starting to attack me. So thanks for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.